It's been quite some time since I've done a DIY, especially a Halloween one, obviously. This one is gonna be fun because we're going to call this, we could buy it, but I think we can make it for cheaper. So if you guys like crafting, that's what we're gonna do today. There's a few things that I found on Pottery Barn's website that I just love, but I know I could make it cheaper. And so when I see a pillow for around $60, I know I can go grab myself a towel and I can make it cheaper. So we have a few Pottery Barn dupes we're going to be making today, and then just a few other random things that I think would be fun to make. Again, these are things that I wanted to decorate in my house anyway, so I figured I just might as well make them. We're going full Halloween today though. We're doing lots of bats, ghosts. I don't even know if are we doing a bat? We're doing one bat. We're doing a few ghosts. And that's why I wanted to have more of a Halloween vibe in today's video, if you didn't notice. Before I get started, I'm going to turn on Hocus Pocus because I love crafting while I'm watching a movie. And I don't know of a better Halloween movie to watch than Hocus Pocus. Let's turn that on. I'm gonna have to turn it down though, I just realized, because I'm gonna need to be talking to you guys. The first DIY we're going to do is really easy. If you have just 2 white mugs lying around, which I think most people do, or they do sell these at the dollar store, or you could go get some at the thrift store. I found these again off of Pottery Barn's website, and they're not too crazy expensive. I think they're $15 a piece, but I could make them for basically nothing. So I'm gonna make 2 ghost mugs. All we're going to need for this project is some black craft paint and some paintbrushes. And we're just going to paint little ghost faces on these mugs. Another thing I wanted to do is I wanted my ghosts to like face each other, you know? So like if you wanted to, I don't know, cheer someone, that the faces would be on opposite sides. So that's what I'm gonna do. And along those lines, I wanted to paint this cute little teapot. So I got the inspiration off of Amazon. I found a ghost picture that was like $50, I wanna say. It didn't look that great, I mean, from the pictures anyway. So I went to our thrift store and I was looking for a white picture. I couldn't find one, but I did find this teapot, and I thought that this would look really cute with a little ghost face on it. So we're going to improvise and we're going to paint a face. And I actually think I'm going to paint the face to match my other ghosts so they look the same. I kind of want them to look like they were a set. Let's get started on painting some faces. So to begin these ghost mugs, all you're going to need is some black craft paint, some paintbrushes, and then you're just going to eyeball where the eyes and the mouth go. I just had my picture out for reference on my phone of where I wanted to put the face. And then when I went to go do the second one, I put the other one up against it just to kind of help me put the eyes and the mouth in the same place. And I would also suggest starting with tiny little dots and then just make them a little bit bigger as you go. It's easier to do that rather than make them too big to begin with because you can't really take the paint away. So it's easier to just add to it. Another thing I wanted to mention is obviously these will not be dishwasher safe, but really none of my hand painted mugs are. I have several Christmas mugs and even some pumpkin mugs that are not safe in the dishwasher. So these will be no different. I will just hand wash these, but I also think that these will probably just be left up for decor. The next 2 things we're going to make is a ghost pillow and a bat pillow, and we are just going to use some towels. I got these from Walmart for like $3 a piece, and you probably could get a few pillows out of them. I'm going to make mine a little larger. I have made pillows similar to this in the past. I've made a ghost and I made a candy corn and a cat face. I think that's the other one I made. And it was years ago and they've held up great. I just can't find them in my bins right now. They're probably up really high. Otherwise I would have shown you in this video. So I've made something similar All you're going to need for this is obviously the towel color you're going to want. You're going to want a Sharpie so that you can be drawing on the pattern. You'll need a pair of scissors and a hot glue gun. Oh, and the stuffing. You're going to need just a little bit of the stuffing, and you can get this at Walmart. We're going to start with the bat pillow. So I'm using the black towel, and then I'm also using my black Sharpie. I'm actually surprised it picked up so well on camera. I feel like in real life, I couldn't really see where my lines were. It was really hard to see. But what I decided to do was I just kind of eyeballed it off of my phone. I had a reference picture right there, and I did half of the bat. I did the marker, and then I cut it out, and then I folded it in half. And that way I was able to get a perfectly symmetrical bat. So that is something I would suggest doing. Also, make sure you're making it just a little bit bigger than you want it to be, because as you stuff it and glue it shut, it will shrink down in size just a little bit. So we're going to get one of these cut out, and then once we have the full bat cut out, then I will use this as a stencil and I'll cut out another piece. Once we have the other piece cut out, then I'm just going to go along the edges and hot glue this shut. It's important to glue this in the right order. You don't want to glue the entire thing shut, and you don't want to glue most of it shut to where you can't fit the stuffing in. So what I would suggest you do is fully glue the wings shut as well as the bottom of the bat, but leave the entire head, like the sides and the ears and the top of the head, leave that completely open, and you will place the stuffing in both of the wings first, fill it up as much as you want to get whatever look you're going for, and then once the body and the wings are fully stuffed, then you will slowly start gluing the top of the head together. So start on both sides, don't glue the top yet, fill in the ears. Once that's all the way done and the head is completely stuffed, then you can close it up. Like I mentioned earlier, I have made pillows like this before, but I actually turned them inside out and I didn't like how that looked. So that's why I'm going with this technique, I guess you could say. I feel like when I flipped it inside out, it kind of made it bumpy and it didn't look as good as I thought it would. So doing it this way is a lot easier, and I also think it looks better. Now moving on to the ghost, I'm just doing the exact same thing as I did with the bat. In my personal opinion, I don't think that the ghost turned out as good as the bat. I think one of the reasons I really liked the ghost pillow and why I wanted to copy that was the fabric, and I probably should have found like a more plushy towel rather than this towel that I went with. So if you are going for that plushy look, I would invest in just a little bit more expensive towel, or I was even thinking a rug. I know that kind of sounds sounds weird, but I think a bathroom rug would have been the perfect material for this ghost if you wanted it to look similar to the Pottery Barn one. It turned out fine. I do end up gluing a little face to it, and I'm using just leftover black towel from the bat. But yeah, these are super simple to make and really inexpensive. And so I think that these are just really cute to go on, you know, if you have kids, to go on their beds. And again, a really inexpensive way to do that. Moving on to the very last project today. This was one I was kind of hesitant to make myself, and I don't know why, because it does look kind of easy, but sometimes the ones that look easier are not very easy. So we're going to paint a man on the moon, and that is, if you're on Pinterest at all and you look up fall decor or Halloween decor, or you follow Liz Marie or any big bloggers that decorate their houses, you've probably seen one. It's like a white moon. I'll just show you a picture right here so we know what we're talking about. It's a white moon with a face. I wanted to get one this year to put with my decor, and I thought I might as well just try it in this video. I picked this up at Lowe's. So this is the 18-inch one, and I think that they have smaller ones if you want to get something smaller. And all we're going to do with this is paint it white, and then we're going to like sketch a face on. Once the face is on, we're going to cover it with paint, and then I'll probably sand it down a little bit to make it look like it's worn. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how this goes. So you can see here, I'm at the very end of Hocus Pocus. All of these projects together took me as long as watching this movie. Probably would have been a little bit faster if I wasn't trying to get different angles and film everything. But the first thing you're going to want to do with the moon is just give it 2 coats of paint, and make sure you also paint the edges. And then after it was fully dry, I went in with a pencil and I did like a rough sketch of what the face looked like. I kind of skipped ahead here because my camera kept going in and out of focus the whole time, and I had no idea that it was doing that. But I'm not gonna lie, when I got to this point, like just the sketch, I thought, okay, this looks horrible. This looks nothing like the face. But I decided once I put like thick black paint on it, it probably will look a little bit better. So I made sure to show you guys just a time lapse of the entire face painting. I know it's upside down. This was the best angle I could get where my hand wasn't in the way, but I feel like this turned out so good. This is one of my favorite things that I've probably ever done, because this is something that I have personally wanted for a few years now. So I'm just really excited to have it. And it's always more fun if you can make it yourself. Once I'm done painting the face and it's completely dry, I'm going to go back tomorrow morning and I'm going to sand it down a little bit, because I do like the look of it being old and distressed. So I think giving it a little sand job over the top is just going to make it look complete.